Good morning, everybody. Monday morning, a new start, a new week, here we go. And in English this week, it's all about writing our hot task, our story, our Beowulf adventure. And I'm so excited to see your stories and the adventures that Beowulf is going to go on. So this morning, I'm just going to open up the plan. We are going to look at writing the opening paragraph and the build-up for our story. So you can see from looking here that I've got King Alfred the Great, a generous king who, loved his kingdom, and that there was an issue with the church. I'd also started to think about some vocabulary, which was bold, generous king, and throughout all of Wessex. So I'm going to start with my opening. Now remember, an opening has to have the main character and the setting of the story introduced. Let's see how we go. So, just like in the original Beowulf, I'm going to start with far away and just as long ago, Denmark was a wild place. Now, as I'm thinking of what's going on, I am changing things as I go, which you're more than welcome to do. Your plan is only a rough guide, but I've had a bit of an epiphany about this story overnight, and so it's going to be slightly different to my plan. It's okay if yours is slightly different to your plan too. Remember, your plan is just a guide, it's notes. As you start to develop ideas, it will change. Let's just write the first paragraph and see how we go. So, far away and just as long ago, Denmark was a wild place. Gruesome monsters roamed the misty moors, stalking the townsfolk of the great kingdom of Hereward. And I have used the same kingdom. I'm not as creative as you guys. I'm sure you've come up with different kingdoms and towns you'd love your story to be set in. So please do use them. So at night, they howled, growled, shrieked and snarled, never letting the citizens forget that they had once been terrorised by a terrible monster, and that terrible monster is Grendel. They were terrorised by Grendel all the time. Okay, so they had once been terrorised by a terrible monster. This is a new monster we're writing about, but I'm still going to touch on the Grendel one. Okay. However, the king of the Danes, and I am going to use the warlord at Hrothgar. I am going to use King Hrothgar. I'm going to be quite boring. I'm going to keep mine quite similar for the knowledge that I know. But please do, if you want to use a different kingdom with a different king, that's absolutely fine. So, however, the king of the Danes, a mighty warrior warlord named Hrothgar, refused to be scared. He's the king. He can't let his subjects, his people, know that he's scared. So, on top of a craggy hill at the edge of the moors, he built a tremendous, stunning church. That was in my plan, if you remember. Let me just go back and show you. During a recent battle, the church had been burnt down and he built a new one for them to pray in. So he built a tremendous, stunning church made of the finest wood and decorated with ivory and gold. What a beautiful place that would be. He's built that place for them and has made it as beautiful as he possibly can. So it was large enough for all his bravest war warriors, alongside their kin, which is their family, to feel safe in, to pray each night and hope that they could keep the shadows in the dark at bay. And they're the monsters that are like surrounding the town. Each night, Hrothgar spoke to his people, standing upon a large wooden podium at the front of the almighty church. He spoke to them. He spoke about how proud he felt of his town, celebrating that they were now safe from all monsters, thanks to their saviour, Beowulf. Now remember, Beowulf has just come and hurt Grendel. So he's been slayed, Beowulf came, he's gone. So they're celebrating that fact. So afterwards, they floated back to their homes, ready to sleep soundly. However, it was sleep they would pay for dearly soon. So this is my opening paragraph. I'm sure you'll agree with me that in my opening paragraph I have described my setting, I have introduced my main characters, and I have started to build that tension that this is a story where something is going to go wrong. So you can either pause the video here and go and write your first paragraph, or you can see what I'm going to write for my build-up and then go and write. So for my build-up, I've got here, every day they go to the church to pray. There's something listening outside. The beast stalks and watches from the shadows. He hates the beauty of the church and is jealous because of his lair. So hopefully we can get something in there. So outside, something was rising. Across the moor, a deplorable, and you'll remember I used that in my wanted poster, savage monster crawled from its lair. And I'm going to have that the monster is related to Grendel. That this monster is now stalking Heorot and the village because he's so upset about what happened to Grendel. Okay, I've got to describe the monster first though. So it had a sickening complexion with wings as long as two grown men. Now remember, I'm doing mine based on Stormslayer. Yours is going to look different. So wings as long as two grown men, and flesh ripping claws. Each night this evil fiend craved havoc, watching in disgust as the villagers would leave the church happy, calm and content with what Beowulf had done, pleased that his son, as in Grendel, which I'll put in brackets, was now dead. So it's obvious now, I've described this new creature and I've made it very clear that the relationship between Grendel and Stormslayer is that Stormslayer is Grendel's dad. Okay, you don't have to have him as a dad, but they could be related in some way. Was now dead. Let's just make the whole thing the same size. Was now dead. For that monster was Grendel's dad. He was bereaved, which means he's grieving, he's sad about his son's death, father, out for revenge. Maddened by his loss, and he would be savage in his grief. So I've made it really clear that whatever the Stormslayer is going to do, he's going to make it the worst thing that's ever happened to him. Okay, so I have written my opening paragraph and my build-up. In the folder, I will make this a picture so you can see what I've written today and the video for today. So because I've written 2 paragraphs, you're going to write 2 paragraphs. So you're going to write your opening paragraph for the story plus the build-up for your story. Okay, you've got lots of time to do it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they come along. So you're going to write the opening and the build-up. Now, your wanted posters. In every single wanted poster, I had to say, please use fronted adverbials, please use conjunctions, please use a fronted adverbial, please use a conjunction. So I really want everyone to make sure that they're using a range of fronted adverbials and conjunctions in their story to make their story flow and make it nice and cohesive together. I do not want to see lots of sentences, he did this, he did that, he did this. Remember, there's lots of description in that opening paragraph because you've really got to set the scene. Okay? Go and have a go, and I look forward to seeing what you've done.